and I'm not going to harp on it. It annoyed me too much.
You should harp on it for a second, Jimmy.
We always talk about the fucking media and how they talk about race. This black guy killed these 2 white coworkers. It was a workplace shooting.
The cameraman and the reporter down there in Virginia.
And they've mentioned the racial motives because they had to.
Yeah.
But when Dylan Roof shot up a church, it was like this fucking 21-year-old nobody white kid. And he really was a nobody fucking piece of shit hayseed. Mm-hmm. All they could talk about is why he did it. This guy is one of their own. He's a member of the fucking media.
Right.
And they won't talk about the main reason he did it.
And he said why he did it.
He said why he was doing it. And they mention, again, they have mentioned it because they kind of have to. It's so obvious. And he said this is why but man, they just are washing over it. It's not anywhere in the Daily News today.
Well, they're focused on the fact that he, wished he could have been a $2,000 gay escort again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
longed
blame
for
him.
his days as the $2,000 gay escort. He's on the front fucking page.
Yeah. But not racist killer, not racist sicko like it is with Dylan Roof and all, which,
yeah,
it's killer.
Yeah, it's just killer.
The same thing with that cop down in Texas when they were looking
Houston
for the guy.
area, right?
Yeah, they just put looking for a dark complexioned male. They had a picture of,
I think it's
a
brave.
surveillance picture of the guy too,
Yeah.
and it was dark complexioned male.
I think it's brave that they even said dark complexion male.
That's
kind of brave
because they were showing the picture. They had to say something, I guess.
Yeah,
they had to address it somehow. So that's how they worked it.
Yeah, the media's they're just terrified of any type of racial. I don't understand what is so scary.
They're just terrible.
Or they don't want to give other people the same idea. Maybe they're afraid of, fucking starting a revolution or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
But this guy was apparently a real douche anyway. Yeah, everyone hated him. He complained all the time to Human Resource. He was the worst.
He was exhausting.
He was exhausting.
He was always just knocking on HR. I got a complaint.
Yeah, so said something racially insensitive.
I saw a watermelon. I know they put that out for me.
Yeah, and then
Where do I file a complaint on the watermelon I saw in the lobby?
Yeah, and then the girl would say, hey, we got to go out in the field and cover this story. He's like, what do you mean? You're talking about a cotton field and going to pick cotton, black people? And she's like, no, that's the term we use.
Say that?
Oh, yeah, the field. And there was another one that she would use, too. And he thought that was racist, too.
She said racist stuff. But the fact that this sick fuck, this fucking nobody, goes and shoots these 2 innocent people, and the motives are, a big part of it racial. Mm-hmm. They're just ignoring it. Are they having the gun debate like they always do?
Oh God, yeah. Yes, they are, Jimmy. Yes, they are.
Wow.
Nothing will be done with that whatsoever.
No. Field and swinging were racist out in the field.
Yeah, and we got to swing by. I think it was another one.
So we
like I said, we got to go swing by the park to go. Yeah, swinging was too. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that! Just what a fucking fat nudge he looks like. He's the worst.
Just one of those tiny mustaches.
He's horrible.
One of those pencil thin mustaches. Yeah. What are you doing? Shave that.
Horrible.
You're not Hispanic.
He looks like Bookman from Good Times.
Yeah.
Real creepy.
I kind of thought that too. Anyway, that story's kind of old now, but
yeah,
that was just horrifying. But fucking. Not gonna lie to you, kind of fascinating. The guy's live tweeting. He GoPro. Was it a GoPro that he used for that?
It looked like a phone.
It looked like a phone because it was like rectangular.
Oh right, he was just. Well, I think they try to say it was a GoPro at first, but yeah, you're right with the angles and stuff. That was a smartphone.
Then you just see him holding the gun. Like what a
holy
fucking piece of
man.
shit. I'm glad he shot himself. Like that's what I'll say. That at least he did that. We don't have to look at him for the next 20 years. If you're going to go out and kill people like that, just shoot yourself in the car. It's easier.
Right. I'm a bit guilty of exploiting the whole thing because I'm with Jimmy on this whole thing. I hate when we focus on, the shooter and give him attention and make him the
anti-hero,
anti-hero, bigger than life. But I was so fucking fascinated by him tweeting and stuff that I got dragged into it a little bit. So I'm a bit hypocritical because I certainly play it the other way usually.
Well, it's kind of hard when a guy is live. I don't think that's ever been done. A guy's never live tweeted and then fucking put the video of his own murder up.
I was beyond amazed by the whole thing.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I saw there was a link and I couldn't watch it.
You know what, Florentine? I saw the fucking video and I wish I didn't. I really did. And then
not that bad.
And then everyone was tweeting me like, "Where can I find it? Where can I find it?" And at that point, I'm like, "Look, man, it's the internet. If you need to see it, you can find
It's all
it.
over
You
the
can find
place.
it yourself. I'm not fucking tweeting a link to this thing. Not that I'm trying to say I was a great guy for not doing that, but I was caught up in the whole thing for a little while because I usually despise when the media focuses on these guys.
It looks different in real life. Like the shootings, like the way he shot her.
It's not a movie, man.
She like ran.
Yeah.
Like she got hit with a few shots and like turned to run and I guess just collapsed.
Right. And it's more of a pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really
Unlike when
sickening.
you hear it on, in a movie or something.
Yeah, you feel bad for the two people. They did nothing wrong.
And they were just nice people.
Yeah.
And wasn't one of the fiance was in the control room back at the station?
That was the cameraman's fiance.
Yeah, the cameraman's fiance worked at the station
She was in the control booth
when this went down.
So they went out to do a live shot. The cameraman's fiance's back at the station in the booth checking out the live shot.
Yeah.
So she watched that whole fucking thing.
Wow.
And then the reporter was engaged as well to somebody else from the station.
It's just some mentally ill. Are they talking about the mental illness? They never seem to harp on that.
I think you're seeing a turn in that. You really are. More and more people are really starting to discuss the mental illness angle of these things. Finally. We used to put them away. Every city has a big, huge building that has a lot of vines on it. I think they should open up those places again, right?
Yeah.
They don't even need to clean them out. Just march them in there.
Yeah, there was a huge one where I live, and it closed years ago. But that was the place. Like, that's where you're gonna go if you're crazy and shit like that.
Every city has at least one. There's one out on Long Island in the Kings Park area that they're slowly, I think, demolishing finally. But that was pretty wild to just walk around because it was all, deserted. And you saw these buildings just being taken over by vines and trees and weeds and whatnot.
That's where I can't wait until we have computer. People think I'm crazy but I really do think that computer chips. But that is gonna. I can't. Eventually, we will have. We'll probably have them either put in ourselves or we'll just wear them. Your financial information, everything. You just put your finger, boop, and everything will be known. But that's where it will come in handy if the government can monitor you a little bit, because every time you don't take your fucking medication, when you're one of these fucking, I didn't take my medication. He was off his medication. He's off his medication. Every time you do that, maybe they zap your chip and you can't move until you take it. You just got to sit there like a lump. Like you don't have to take it, but you can't leave your house.
Yeah. We
electric shock you.
We could solve all these problems, but we would just look like assholes. Because there you go. There's the solution, John. Yeah. I mean, we all know mentally ill people, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the discussion is we all know someone that could snap. So what do? You go to the authorities and go, hey, blah, blah is going to snap someday? There's nothing you could do with this shit.
Yeah, I think at least 5 different people should have to say it. Like there should be a set number of people. Yeah. Like if 5 of your coworkers say, look, this guy's a complete asshole, then they should monitor you. Yes.
And then, they can't even fire you because that's usually the thing that pisses people off.
Didn't he get fired, this guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They had to escort him out of the building and I guess he was a problem.
I think he waited a couple of years before he did
Couple of years?
Like
wow.
he was fired.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
I think he was fired in 2013.